I never believed in prophets before, but everything changed when my life started falling apart. It all began when my husband, Daniel, and I were struggling financially. He lost his job, and our small business was failing. I was desperate for a solution, so when my friend Amanda told me about a powerful prophetess at her church, I decided to go. "She sees everything," Amanda whispered excitedly. "She will tell you what is wrong and how to fix it. You just have to believe." The first time I stepped into Prophetess Naomi's church, I felt something strange. The air was thick with the sound of people crying, shouting, and falling to the ground. The prophetess stood in the middle, dressed in a white robe, eyes closed, chanting words I didn't understand. "You!" She suddenly pointed at me. My heart pounded. I didn't know what to say, so I just nodded. "You are under a curse," she shouted, making the entire church gasp. "Your own husband is the cause of your suffering." I froze. My husband? That couldn't be true. Daniel had always loved and supported me. But before I could say anything, Prophetess Naomi grabbed my hands and whispered, "If you don't listen to me, you will lose everything." Fear gripped my heart. What if she was right? That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about what the prophetess had said. Could Daniel really be the reason for our struggles? My heart told me no, but my mind was filled with doubt. The next day I returned to the church. "I see a dark spirit following you," she said. "Your husband is hiding secrets from you." I felt cold. "What kind of secrets?" She leaned closer. "He is planning to leave you. He is already seeing another woman." "No!" I shook my head. "Daniel loves me." "You must trust the vision. If you doubt, the curse will destroy you." Tears filled my eyes. I wanted to believe my husband, but doubt had already entered my heart. When I got home, I looked at Daniel differently. Every phone call he made, every time he stepped out, I suspected him. I started questioning him about things I never cared about before. "Where did you go? Why are you on your phone? Who are you talking to?" At first he answered patiently, but soon he became frustrated. "Sophia, what is wrong with you? Why don't you trust me?" I wanted to tell him about the prophetess, but something stopped me. What if he got angry? What if he really was hiding something? The next Sunday I returned to church. "I will pray for you," Prophetess Naomi said, "but you must bring a seed offering, a big one, to break the curse." I didn't have much money, but I gave her everything I had left. Then she gave me a bottle of holy oil and whispered, "Pour this in your husband's food. If he is innocent, nothing will happen, but if he is guilty, he will confess." I went home, my hands shaking. I didn't know if I could do it, but I had already started doubting my husband. I had to know the truth. That night I added the oil to his food. My heart pounded as he ate. Then, suddenly, Daniel dropped his spoon. His eyes widened, his body shook, he gasped for air. He fell to the floor, coughing. I had made a terrible mistake. I watched in horror as Daniel collapsed, gasping for breath. Panic surged through me. What had I done? Was this the curse Prophetess Naomi had warned me about? "Daniel!" I cried, rushing to his side. His body trembled and his face twisted in pain. I tried to help him, but I didn't know what was happening. Daniel suddenly grabbed my arm. "Sophia." His voice was weak, barely a whisper. "What did you put in my food?" I looked at him, eyes wide with fear. I didn't mean to hurt you. It was the oil. The prophetess gave it to me. She said, "Sophia, you've been tricked." Daniel's voice was full of shock and anger. "This is all a lie." "What? What do you mean?" I was confused. "You've been listening to that fake prophetess, haven't you?" he gasped, struggling to sit up. "You've been believing her lies. She's manipulating you, Sophia. She's taking advantage of your fears and doubts." I felt my heart drop. No, she's a real prophetess. She told me you were hiding secrets, that you were going to leave me. Daniel's eyes were full of pain. "Sophia, I'm not hiding anything. I love you. I've been trying to figure out how to fix our finances, but I didn't want to burden you with it. The prophetess, she's only using you to control you." I was in disbelief, but "Sophia, listen carefully. Daniel said, his voice still weak. "I'm telling you the truth. The real reason we're struggling is because she's taking advantage of people like us. She makes you doubt everything, so you keep coming back and giving her money, but she's the one who benefits, not us." I shook my head, tears welling in my eyes. "I don't know who to trust anymore." "I've already lost you." Daniel held my hands, his grip tight. "No, you haven't lost me. But if you keep listening to her, you will lose everything. Our love, our family, and our future." Suddenly, a shocking thought crossed my mind. Was Daniel right? Had I been so blinded by my desperation that I couldn't see the truth? What if Prophetess Naomi was the one causing all this chaos, not solving it? The next morning, I knew I had to take action. I needed to confront Prophetess Naomi and put an end to this madness. I arrived at the church with a heavy heart. The church was eerily quiet, and the air felt different. No loud chants or cries, only a few people sat in the back, praying softly. I walked up to the prophetess, my hands shaking. "Prophetess Naomi, I need to speak to you." She looked at me, a slight smile on her face. "Ah, Sophia, you look troubled. Is everything all right with your marriage?" "Why did you lie to me?" I demanded, my voice trembling. "Why did you make me believe that my husband was hiding something? Why did you manipulate me into thinking I was cursed?" "You should be careful, Sophia. The truth can be very dangerous." "I know the truth now," I said, standing tall. "You've been lying to me. You've been using your so-called prophecies to control people, to make them give you money. I won't be part of it anymore." The prophetess stared at me for a long moment, her expression unreadable. Then, in a voice that sent chills down my spine, she spoke. "You think you're the first to come here with doubts. There are others, many others, who have come to me seeking guidance, and I have given them what they needed. You will never truly escape me, Sophia. The curse is already upon you." I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. "What curse?" She smiled again, but this time there was something dark in her eyes. "The curse of doubt. Once you start doubting, you will never be free, and I will always have control over you." As I turned to leave, I felt a strange sensation in my chest. Was she right? Had I unknowingly invited a curse into my life by listening to her? But no, I couldn't let fear control me anymore. I had to make things right. That night, I sat down with Daniel, the weight of everything finally hitting me. "I'm sorry," I whispered, my voice filled with regret. "I should have trusted you. I let a stranger's words tear us apart." "We'll get through this, Sophia, together. But we have to be careful from now on. We have to protect our hearts from people like her." I nodded, grateful for his forgiveness, but deep inside I knew the real battle had just begun. I had to fight to free myself from the grip of the prophetess, and I couldn't do it alone. I had to expose her for what she truly was, a fake, a manipulator, a thief. But the prophetess wasn't going to go down easily. The following days felt like I was trapped in a whirlwind. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Prophetess Naomi's face, her dark smile haunting me. I couldn't escape her grip, no matter how hard I tried. But I knew I had to fight back. I couldn't let her destroy my family. I decided to dig deeper. If I was going to expose her, I needed evidence. So I went back to the church, pretending everything was normal. I watched Prophetess Naomi closely as she worked her magic on others. I saw something that made my blood run cold. A woman came in, her face full of worry, just like mine had been when I first walked in. The prophetess greeted her warmly. Something strange happened. I couldn't hear the words they exchanged, but I could see the prophetess subtly slip an envelope into the woman's hand. The woman nodded and handed her a large sum of money, whispering something I couldn't hear. I followed them discreetly as they left the church. The woman entered a car, and Prophetess Naomi watched her go, her eyes filled with satisfaction. That was when it hit me. The prophetess wasn't here to help. She was here to steal. She had been manipulating us all along. I had to expose her, but how? She was powerful and people believed her every word. What could I do to show everyone the truth? I decided to go to the one person who could help me, Amanda. She had introduced me to the prophetess, and now she was going to help me bring her down. That night, I sat with Amanda in her kitchen, telling her everything. "You can't be serious," she said, her face full of disbelief. "You're saying she's been using you?" "Yes," I replied, my voice shaking. "I don't know how I didn't see it before. She's not a prophetess, she's a fraud. And I need your help to prove it." Amanda hesitated. "But what about the people who are still going there? They believe in her. They trust her." "I know," I said, my heart heavy. "But I have to stop her. I can't let her ruin more lives." Finally, Amanda agreed. Together we started planning. We would gather evidence and expose the prophetess for what she really was. But the deeper we dug, the more dangerous things became. One evening, as I was getting ready to meet Amanda, I received an unexpected message. It was from Prophetess Naomi. The message simply read, "I know what you're trying to do. Stop or you will regret it." I froze. Was she threatening me? I couldn't back down now. I had to expose the truth. I met Amanda at a local cafe. We were discussing our next steps when suddenly a shadow loomed over our table. It was Prophetess Naomi. "Do you think you can stop me?" she asked, her voice dripping with venom. "Do you think anyone will believe you over me? I'm untouchable, Sophia. You should have listened when I warned you." I tried to stay calm, but fear gripped my heart. "What do you want from me?" She smiled, a cruel smile. "You can never escape me. You are mine now. You've been marked." Before I could respond, she turned and walked away, disappearing into the crowd. I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. What did she mean by marked? Was it some kind of curse? I turned to Amanda, my voice barely a whisper. "We have to move fast. She knows what we're doing." But Amanda's face was pale. "I don't think we can stop her. What if she really does have powers? What if she's dangerous?" I had no time to argue. I had already come too far. I had to expose the prophetess, no matter the cost. The next Sunday I went to the church alone, determined to catch Prophetess Naomi in the act. I waited for her to start her usual routine, gathering a crowd of followers. She called people up one by one, laying her hands on them, and they fell to the floor, crying, screaming, claiming they had been healed. I watched in horror as the people around me praised her, unaware that they were being manipulated. When it was finally my turn, I stepped up hesitantly. Prophetess Naomi took my hands, her eyes gleaming. "I see a terrible curse over you," she said in her usual dramatic voice. "You are surrounded by darkness." I could feel the eyes of the congregation on me, but this time I was ready. "I've had enough," I said, pulling away from her grip. "You are a fraud, Naomi. You are not a prophetess. You've been lying to everyone here. You've been taking their money and playing with their fears." The crowd gasped, and Prophetess Naomi's face twisted in anger. "You think you can accuse me of such things?" she spat. "You will regret this." But before she could do anything, I pulled out my phone and played the video of her accepting money from the woman outside the church. "Here's your evidence," I said, my voice steady. The prophetess's face went pale as the video played on the screen for everyone to see. The crowd murmured in shock. You're lying," she stammered, but it was too late. The truth was out. The church erupted in chaos. People were screaming, shouting, accusing her of betrayal. As the police arrived to arrest her, Prophetess Naomi made one final attempt to flee. But it was no use. She had been caught. As the dust settled, I turned to Amanda, feeling a mix of relief and disbelief. "It's over," I whispered. "We did it." Amanda smiled, though her face was still full of shock. "I never thought we could bring her down." I nodded, feeling a strange sense of peace. But I knew one thing for sure now. Never again would I fall for false promises. I had lost so much in this journey: money, trust, even my peace of mind. But in the end, I had gained something far more valuable: the truth. And I vowed never to let anyone manipulate me like that again.